Today we're talking about one of the new natural 4-star units, Nezha. That was included in one of the last Monster Super League updates. First, we're going to be taking a look at her leader skill, which is just a straight defense buff. General everywhere. It doesn't need to be a specific element or in a specific place, so that's always good. Defense buffs are kind of rare, more rare than HP buffs, I think. So all around, awesome leader skill, good. For natural 4-star units, we look at the Evo 3 6-star 60, so completely maxed, because this is a reasonable, achievable goal for most people, since you will only need 4 of them and gleams to eventually get to Evo 3. Looking at her skills, she is a peer debuffer, decent, not really. I really like the attack down because it is quite rare on a 3-star skill. You don't see it too often. It is only a 60% chance and 2 turns is fine. For a natural 4-star, I think the chance maybe should be a little bit higher. I know some of the other natural 4-stars also have 60%, but then there are a few exceptional natural 3-stars that have 100% for defense down, like Water Shelly, and 100% attack down, like Water Gatito. So I don't know, I think it should be 70, 80, whatever. 5-star skill is very underwhelming with only a 60% chance for defense down, and then it's only for 1 turn. So the skills in themselves are good. I like both attack down and defense down. They're useful everywhere, but a 1-turn defense down at 60% chance, I think that's way too weak on a natural 4-star unit on the active skill. All around okay, nothing spectacular. Looking at her stats, we have 38k HP. She is a tank, obviously, so she'll have a lot of HP. A good attack stat, actually. Defense a little on the lower side, but her high HP pool helps patch that up survivability wise. Recovery, who cares? If you just want her as a debuffer, just purely for survivability, I would go HP defense as far as gyms go. Maybe on the defense set to help patch up her survivability. Also the resist set, so the conviction set would be good, as debuffers should have at least a decent amount of resist, so if you can't get good resist substats, you should go for the conviction set. But yeah, that's about it for the fire one. Gonna take a look at her variant form here. Cool. It seems like almost every fire variant goes to this strange sort of red, purplish, violet sort of color. That's okay though, that's okay. We're gonna be moving on to the Water Nezha now. Again, Evo 3 6-star. She has the new skill Blind actually on her active skill. Only 60% chance, 2 turns, so it's not a very high chance, but Blind can be kind of useful, I guess, maybe in Titans, because I know Titans are criticaling a lot. Even so, I've always kind of found Blind to not be a very good debuff, because most of the other debuffs will do more. I mean, if we're talking about bosses, then it is a pretty good debuff, because they can't be debuffed with stun or shock or whatever. So Blind is another way to make them deal even less damage, like Blind and attack down, they'll be doing not very much anymore, because they can't crit and their damage will be reduced by attack down, so that could be a pretty good combo. And she does have attack down on her 3-star skill, again, only 60% chance, is for 2 turns at least. So yeah, all around definitely a unit to make the other units deal a lot less damage. So in that right, she's pretty good. She is a balanced type, balanced HP, attack, defense. Why is recovery the highest? No. But yeah, regardless, with balanced types, usually what I'm doing is going balanced on their gym sets as well. Attack, defense, and HP, 1 of each. I know she has a peer debuffer, so you may want to focus more on survivability than her doing damage. That's completely up to you, but with balanced types, that's just what I do. And with her, I'd probably also go with the resist set just to give her a little bit more resist. Unless, of course, you get good resist substats and can bump her pretty high, then I would maybe go for the HP set, give her a bit more HP. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on her. Looking at the variant, oh, actually this variant's quite nice. The original is actually kind of more purpley, or at least that's big ring, and then this one definitely goes more to aquatic, so I like the variant actually more in this case, which is something I usually don't say about variants. So now we're moving on to the wood one. This one looks like a self-sustainer probably. Attacks restore own HP in proportion. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty cool. There aren't too many wood self-sustainers as far as I know, so that's quite nice. And then on the 5-star skill, we got Seal, 60% chance. 1 turn though, that's kind of a weak Seal. And you know, Seal actually I don't really like, because it doesn't really do that much compared to a stun, because a stun just locks them out completely, you know? I mean, a seal can make aggressors almost useless, them doing no damage anymore. And someone like Water Nightmare, for example, I can definitely see as an awesome unit. But not only is it on our 3-star skill, and it's 100% chance, but it lasts for 3 damn turns. Now that is op. So in that regard, Seal is amazing, but 1 turn, 60% chance on the active, that is almost useless in my opinion. If it was 100% chance for 1 turn, might be decent. 80% chance for 2 turns might be decent. 60% even at 2 turns still isn't that good because Seal can only be applied on other Astromons and not bosses. So effectively it's really only useful in Astromon League anyway, and there I can't really see the use. But with that all being said, her 3-star skill is quite useful. She is an attacker, so she'll be doing more damage anyway. Good attack stat. So that's probably what I would mainly use her for. Maybe Astromon League, make her full glass cannon and just take her into teams that you have other units tanking the elements with crit rate attack on the Ruin set. So at 6-star Evo 360, she should be able to take a couple of hits and then she should be able to restore her own HP just like that. As long as there aren't any strong fire types, of course you want to avoid those, or maybe have a water Astromon to take care of them. Gonna check out her variant form here. That's kind of weird. I mean, considering the ring is like the most standout thing here, when that drastically changes colors, that kind of messes with the whole look, because this one definitely looks more like water now. I don't know why this would be wood, any sort of variant anyway. This is definitely more wood. Okay, whatever. Moving on to the light one now. The light one also has the new blind skill, but it's 100% chance for 1 turn, so this is definitely okay. This is definitely decent. It's only for 1 turn, but it's guaranteed, so in my book, that's fine. 5-star skill is a pretty good sap actually. 80% 2 types for 2 turns. Since Titans can be sap now, sap is a little bit more useful than it was before. It's only 5k flat damage per sap stack, but it's something. Would have much rather had like 1% or something, or maybe 0.5% or whatever. That might still be too much, but flat is definitely a disappointment. She is also a tank and a pure debuffer, and that's how I would gym her, with HP defense. Again, either on the defense set to round that off, because she does actually have very good defense. Much better than the fire tank over here with only 1800. She has a solid 2300 when she's maxed out, so I would definitely capitalize on that, giving her the defense set as well as a gym. Maybe even the resist set also if you can't get good resist substats. Since she isn't a healer, she will have 0% base resist, so you want to try and get that up a bit. Checking out her variant form here. Oh, well, that's actually pretty nice. Kind of a white, silvery blue sort of thing going on there. I think I also prefer this variant over this one. Now we're coming to the Dark Nezha, which is an attacker. This is, without even really looking at her skills, I think I would want this one. Dark attackers are so awesome, having that base 100% crit damage. And checking out her skills, we have HP Siphon, attacks greatly restore. This must mean it's more powerful than the ones that just say attacks restore. So already really liking that. Dark attackers with HP Siphon on the 3-star skill, hell yeah. And then we have 80% 2-turn defense down AoE. Awesome, awesome. By far the best Nezha, already hands down, no question about it, in my book at least. Looking at her stats, even being an attacker, she has actually really good defense, more than the light tank and the fire tank. So she already has pretty good survivability there. HP, of course, is a little bit lacking being an attacker, but that's just part of being a glass cannon. Now, with dark attackers, there are a few different ways to gym them. Personally, what I'm actually doing most of the time, since I'm never lucky with crit rate substats, what I'm mostly doing is going with the intuition set, crit rate, attack, and HP, just to make sure that I get it as close to 100% crit rate as possible. And I know some people are like, just go ruin, crit rate, attack, full glass cannon, and 150% crit damage all the time. The bad thing is, I'm raising a lot of attackers with a lot of ruin sets and a lot of intuition sets, and the fact is she starts out at 10% crit rate. A 6-star maxed out crit rate gem only gives you 54% crit rate, so that's 64% crit rate. So that means you need to get 36% crit rate from 2 gyms on substats. That's 16% on each, and that can definitely be hard. Most of the time you'll need to roll it into crit rate at least once, if not twice, while already having the crit rate there to begin with. So it's easier said than done just to say go ruin, blah blah blah. I definitely recommend ruin for light attackers because they start with 20% crit rate and it's a little bit easier, and they only have 50% crit damage. But with dark attackers, I think there can be an exception made since they start off with 100% crit damage already, so a ruin set won't benefit them as much as, say, every other element. But by all means, if you can get her crit rate up to near 100 while being on a ruin set, then go for it. I would still kind of recommend an HP or a defense gym, a survivability gym. Maybe it's not totally necessary because she is a self-sustainer, but just in my experiences in the harder content, without any sort of survivability, they can actually get one-shot. So mess around with it a bit. I would recommend a survivability gym since she'll be doing so much damage anyway with just one really good attack gym and dealing that 100% natural crit damage. I think it's enough, but yeah, that's just me. Looking at her variant form now, ooh, that's actually quite cool as well. A lot of the variant Nezhas actually get a kind of an upgrade, in my opinion. You know, this is just visual stuff. It has to be my opinion here. But this one definitely looks more like traditional dark type, and this one looks kind of like more spooky dark type. I like the spooky dark type more. But yeah, that's basically it. Just want to show you guys my progress on my light Gubbus. There she is. I just kind of threw some random gems on her for now. Got the intuition set running. I think she's like full HP right now just because of her active skill. I know I probably maybe should try and go more offensively a little bit with her since she is an attacker. But whatever. We're going to be looking at Nezha's animations, both attack and active skill. Just in this random story quest here, it doesn't really matter. I got a bit of flack for doing this stuff on 3x speed. So for her attack animation, we're going to go on 1x speed. Just going to attack this random dude here. And there it goes. Looks like a 3-hit combo, and he's blinded. Cool, I'm gonna be back when she has her active. Gotta be actually kind of careful because my dudes are kind of ripping through them pretty fast. Thankfully, my Scubbus here refills a bit of SP per turn, so she has her active now. Alright, well, let's go back on 1x speed and check it out. Kaboom! Alright, wow, there were a lot of hits there and a couple saps on there as well. Pretty cool. But yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do it for today's video. Tell me what you guys think about Nezha. I'm probably not pronouncing her right either. I don't pronounce anyone right. You guys should know that in the meantime. This is the Mogati meme. Conveniently meme. I'm really just a retard. But yeah, personally, there's absolutely no question that the dark one completely wins there. Of course, I might just being a little bit biased because dark attackers are freaking awesome. They do so much damage, and she has a pretty high chance to fence down on her active for 2 turns. And she's a self-sustainer. Hell yeah, boy, all day. But yeah, tell me what you think about them. Have you actually gotten any? Are you raising any at the moment? Leave all that good stuff down in the comments below. Also, make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. I would really appreciate it. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.